America messes with your head when it comes to money. You know, Sheila makes $100,000 in a month. My parents don't even make $5,000 a month combined, and they're in their 40s. You know, so I'm like, dang, $5,000, that's nothing, but I still make more than both of my parents. That's crazy. So I'm going to be talking about having a 0-by-0 mentality, and honestly, this is probably one of the most important disciplines you need to develop if you want to become a big producer in this company, because one of the mistakes people make is they thrive off of yesterday's success constantly. You know, they have a big month, they recruit a lot of people, they have good premium, they have a good cash month, they get a bunch of licenses, they get promoted, they get recognized, and subconsciously they start to relax because they're like, oh, I'm good. And I've done it before too. I recruit a good guy and I'm like, man, this guy, he's gonna retire me. This is it. I'm going RVP, this is my replacement, right? That's not gonna happen, right? So success breeds complacency and naturally makes us comfortable, and comfort in this business is very dangerous, right? Because when you wake up the next morning, the clock resets, the scoreboard resets. We're all at 0-by-0 every day. And the crazy thing is, and this is what I've realized over time, is the people that fall off in this business, it's not the people that like never do anything. It's the people that do a little bit and then they get comfortable. And then they get comfortable and then the comfort settles in and then they stop recruiting aggressively, they stop working on themselves, they stop posting, they stop prospecting, they stop, you know, sharpening their skills, and then eventually they've just like almost forgotten everything. But at one time they were a star. And then they wonder why momentum disappears, but I think I heard Shaq say this one time. He said momentum in this business, it's rented, it's not owned, and rent is due every single day, right? The top producers, they understand that, and they stay hungry even after they're winning, right? Even after they've won and they've gotten promoted, they're still recruiting, they're still setting appointments, they're still reading, right? A lot of people, once they like start self-developing a lot, I've noticed this, they stop because they think that they know it all. And they're like, oh, you know, I know everything now. I can stop self-developing. I can stop recruiting people. I can stop making calls. But unfortunately, that's not how the business works. So you got to focus on today. You got to focus on today. One thing I've noticed is a lot of new people, they're really focused on like the big goals. And big goals are good. It's good to have big goals, but that's the only thing they think about. They're like, I want to go RVP. I want to make 100,000. I want 100 licenses. But they're only thinking about that. They're not focused on today at all. And if you're only focused on the big goals and you're not focused about today, like it says something in the Atomic Habits, something like our future is hidden in our daily activities, right? So you can have the big goals all you want, but if you're not doing what needs to be required on a daily basis, you're never going to hit the big goals. So a producer wakes up asking themselves, who am I calling today? Who am I recruiting today? Who am I training today? Who am I following up with today? Because you don't become successful in one giant moment. You become successful with stacked days. And stacked days become stacked months. Months become years. And then eventually you make it. And that's why consistency is more important than motivation, because motivation comes and goes, but mature producers, you know, they understand that they have to move anyways. There's going to be days where you don't feel like it, right? Like somebody texted me this morning, someone I was supposed to have here, they were like, yeah, man, something's telling me I shouldn't go. I swear, and I was like, yeah, every day I wake up, something tells me I shouldn't go to the gym. Every Sunday, something tells me I shouldn't go to church. You know, that's just the way we are hardwired. We don't want to do things that make us uncomfortable. And you don't need to feel like it in order to work. And then the last thing is your team feels your pace. You know, if you slow down, the excuses are going to grow, your activity is going to drop, your momentum dies. But if you move with urgency, your energy rises, the recruiting increases, and the team is going to follow. People don't just listen to what you say, they watch how you move, and your team's rarely going to outwork whatever they see you doing. Like, they're not going to do more than what you're doing. That's very, very rare, unless you find like a very special person. And That's why leadership in this business, it has nothing to do with titles. It's about consistency and setting a good example for your team. And the best producers, they never graduate from the basics. They stay humble enough to keep getting the basics down, because the basics are what got them successful in the first place. So you have to keep doing it. So my challenge to everybody here is simple. Wake up every day, act like you're at 0 by 0, stay hungry, stay urgent. Don't let yesterday's success, feeling like you're going to be successful forever, earn it again every day, because the people who win long term in this business are very, very consistent. Thank you guys.